for quite some number of years, the IP patent box has not been that much explored for the foreign businesses in cases of Cyprus and Malta. So, for instance, in Malta, we implemented the IP patent box regime in 2019, which was basically where we implemented the Nexus-based approach, which was developed by OECD. And by implementing this regime, what businesses can opt for is basically making use of the deductions which are on the basis of the Article 14.1 of the Maltese income tax, and they can apply for in relation to the qualifying income derived from the qualifying intellectual property. So by working out this arithmetics, we can arrive to an effective regime of roughly 1.75% of effective tax. And in cases when we do not have a qualified intellectual property, for instance, if it's like brands or trademarks or trade names which are explicitly excluded from the qualifying intellectual property, in that case, we still in Malta can offer a very attractive net effective tax rate of 5%, which is up to this date is basically the lowest rate in the European Union. And at the same time, this setup, the structure will be not only benefiting from the European Union regulation, but also being fully compliant with the OECD guidelines.
I am by no means a funds expert, but what I can tell you is that by virtue of being an EU member state, Cyprus fully complies with EU funds-related legislation. And the nationally transposed Alternative Investment Fund Managers Directive offers an EU passporting ability for a pan-European reach. And all of this is coupled with low setup costs, simplified procedures in relation to the setup, the relocation, and the ongoing operations of both funds and fund managers. In addition, Preamble 17, and I believe Article 3.2 of the Alternative Investment Funds Directive provides for member states the option to apply a lighter touch, so to speak, for alternative investment fund managers that fall below certain thresholds. And Cyprus has exercised this option this summer by enacting the Cyprus Subthreshold Alternative Investment Fund Managers Law, which provides for these mini funds and for a lighter regime. Now, in terms of taxation of these funds, which I know a little bit more about, there is an exemption from tax on profits from the disposal of shares and other financial instruments, provided that the fund does not hold directly or indirectly immovable property situated in Cyprus. There are no capital gains tax on the disposal of units by the unit holders. There is no subscription tax on the net assets of the fund, no withholding tax on dividends paid to non-Cypriot tax resident unit holders. The fund management services provided to alternative investment funds are not subject to VAT. And each compartment of an alternative investment fund or undertakings for the collective investment in transferable securities will be treated as separate for tax purposes.